Hello, everyone. Today we go, casually explain, talking about engineering. Let us begin.
Video is sponsored by Saley. As some of you know, I dropped out of engineering after 1 year to make YouTube videos, which I originally started to try to motivate myself to study for engineering.
I mean, at this point, pretty much the only real job that you can get as Gen Z is be a crypto bro, start your OnlyFans, or become a YouTuber. Everything else is pointless. You're gonna work minimum wage. Life is shit.
Like every dropout, I still pretend I had it in me, I just didn't want to. What I like the most about engineering is that it's an extremely practical field. If you ask a mathematician what this symbol means, he'll say, that's pi. It's the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. But if you ask an engineer what this symbol means, he'll be like, oh yeah, that's 3. Most people know an engineer or two in real life, but don't really understand what they do. To make it simple, when you see a news segment like Russian soldier begs for mercy as Ukrainian grenade drone threatens foxhole, just know that somewhere an engineer is watching with his girlfriend and is pointing at the screen like, yo, I designed that cargo hatch, dude. This is fucking crazy, bro. What a lot of people get wrong is they think that people go into engineering.
Actually, that's a good point. When you think of engineers, you think they're going to design like a car or something, but in reality, they're either going to be unemployed like everyone else, or they're going to design the next fucking nuke that's going to kill people. And they're going to have to sit there in front of their TVs and look how a new war began. And well, they're kind of responsible for it beginning because they literally designed the fucking missiles.
Because they like math and science. This is completely wrong. Engineers don't like math and science.
It's not about math and science, it's literally about money.
They like money.
Yeah,
the math
there
and
you
science
go.
you have to do is just an unfortunate side effect.
It's like in Asia where you have the "Are you doctor yet?" Like Asian parents pushing their kid to be doctor. It's not about helping people. Helping people is just an unfortunate reality that you have to deal with as a doctor. It's all about money. No one goes into STEM thinking, yes, I'm going to make the world a better place. It's all about money. It always will be about money.
Well, everyone starts engineering by thinking, okay, which type of engineering do I want to do? It very quickly and disappointingly.
Fun fact, how Tesla, well, SpaceX actually, as you can see, all these rockets, well, they're not from, they're Mitsubishi rockets, but regardless, Tesla actually pays around $50,000 in Texas. So you're literally like the best of the best engineers and you're making shit wages. And basically Elon just hopes that because you have passion for airspace and all that stuff, that you're going to put up with shitty wages. And that's kind of why SpaceX has the money it has, is because it underpays their staff insanely.
Becomes, which type of engineering can I still do? In first year, you just take a bunch of STEM classes, but then at a certain point, everyone has a come to Jesus moment where they have to decide between buckling down, working on their study habits, and accepting no sex life, or if they're going to transfer to business. From there, you'll proceed.
And when they transfer to business, they're going to be unemployed anyway, because the business major people couldn't get a job with a business degree anyway, so you're fucked either way.
Procedurally experience harder and harder courses until you fail one, traumatizing you into majoring in whatever was the last thing you passed. For example, software engineers scrape by linear algebra.
When I was doing games development and I saw that, I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm changing my course, and I went to digital art. Digital art then led me to literally making like film TV, and now I'm here because my marketing mastered meant nothing. So when I look at this, all I think of is my wasted time.
But struggle once things start physically existing. Civil engineers scrape by statics but struggle if anything moves. Mechanical engineers scrape by thermodynamics but struggle when things they're working on become alive and the laws of physics suddenly stop working. Chemical and electrical engineers barely.
All of this, and yeah, you may get a good paying job eventually, but there will always be this one kid on fucking crypto that will make more in a day than you will in a year after studying all of this bullshit.
Scrape by organic chemistry and quantum mechanics, then shake hands with each other and agree that the cream rises to the top. No one goes to grad school because they all have a C average. This is traumatizing because if you hear someone say, yes, I have a PhD, usually everyone is like, oh, very impressive, you must be very smart. But if they say, it's in engineering, everyone thinks you're an idiot. This is because getting an undergraduate degree in engineering is like buds training for the Navy SEALs. No one there actually wants to go and fight a war. Everyone knows you just have to do it so you can write a book and go on podcasts. Now, engineers are usually very put together, organized, and prepared people who don't like sudden changes to their plans, spontaneity, or having unchoreographed fun in general, meaning the only thing they truly fear is girls. This means if you're a girl, dating an engineer can be really difficult because especially on the first few dates, you're constantly wondering, is he just shy and awkward, or actually autistic? Even worse is if
Both.
you're a girl in engineering, because if you ever get frustrated, lean back from your computer, and are like, oh, I just don't get how to do this. Well, you should have thought it through, Lily Phillips. This is now a group project. With that said, when it comes to the actual work you'll do, there's a big difference between working on a train and working on a drug to solve erectile dysfunction, despite them having the same effect on most engineers. So it's important to know what you're signing up for when you're choosing an engineering major, so I'll let you know about each one. Mechanical engineer means you make bombs. Civil engineer means you make targets. Petroleum engineer means you make money. Chemical engineer means you're a chemist. Being a chemist means you're a cashier at a pharmacy. Do not try to correct your confused family members, they will not understand. Electrical engineer means you know that V equals IR, and the rest you can learn on the job. Materials engineering is just coming up with IRL crafting recipes. Nuclear engineering is trying to explain to everyone for the last 30 years that these are not chimneys. You will be unsuccessful. Software engineering is trying to figure out if you qualify for food stamps. Computer engineering is being relieved that you at least didn't choose software engineering. Biomedical engineering is when you just can't take it anymore and you need at least one class with a girl in it. Mechatronics... Oh, I don't know how that got in there, that's not engineering. Now, a lot of people are scared to go into engineering because they've heard it's a lot of work. But the good news is if you found a course really hard, you'll feel a lot better.
The problem of going into engineering is the amount of maths that you actually need to do, and everyone hates maths, so it just feels like you're gonna just hate life. And if you're bad at maths, well, why would you even attempt engineering? Because you need to pass those maths subjects, even though you're not gonna use maths that they actually teach you in everyday life. But that's besides the point. You just have to know it for the hell of it.
When you tell a senior that you got 52% on your final, and they're like, yo, congrats. This might cause people to ask the question, wait, so the people designing rockets and planes might not have even understood what they learned in school? Isn't that a bit worrisome?
No one understands what they learn in school. That's why we have YouTube.
And not at all. Engineering is about adaptability and problem solving in the real world, not about rote memorization of textbook material. If you're at work and the software says that your design is at risk of structural failure, just double it. That's engineering, baby. Now, the last...
Also, there's no point remembering everything off by heart because we literally have Google, YouTube, now ChatGPT. If you forget something, which everyone does, you literally just Alt-Tab, search for your answer, and there you go, you're good to go again. There is no reason to memorize anything nowadays.
Question you need to ask yourself before going into engineering is the most important one, which is who do you think would win? The combined power of the military-industrial complex, big pharma, the oil industry, and Wall Street all working together, or the English professor who has to teach the engineering ethics class in first year? Because while engineers have some of the most important jobs...
Ethics, engineering ethics, it's so pointless. Because if you follow ethics within engineering, you're not going to get a job. Most of engineering jobs are literally within military-industrial complex, as I said earlier. If you go engineering, just take the ethics course, like the entire ethics book, just put it in the bin. You do not need ethics in engineering. It's the last thing you need.
Jobs in society, they also bear a lot...
Basically, if you're looking for ethical engineering job, just don't go into engineering.
Of responsibility for the unintended consequences of their actions. And this is why I feel it's my duty to remind students and new graduates of the only question you need to know the answer to, which is when is it okay to violate your moral principles?
Every time when money talks.
Exactly. It has to be at least 6 figures. Now, as someone who dropped out of software engineering, it means I barely scraped by first-year linear algebra and am deeply scared of things that physically exist, which is why I like using an electronic SIM card instead of buying physical ones when I travel. With this video's sponsor, Saily, I could do just that. I recently went on a trip to Japan for a holiday and to visit some family, and my phone company usually charges me $15 a day for roaming, meaning I would have paid $300 for the time I was there. This is such a bad deal I was about to tear up Japan, but luckily I came to my senses, and just by using an eSIM through Saily, I was able to pay just $25 for a month with 20 gigs of data. I found this way more convenient than trying to replace the physical SIM when you land because you don't have to go through a complicated activation process or immediately realize you were just scammed by a sketchy vendor. Plus, there's no risk of losing your old SIM when you swap it out. If you're going to be in multiple countries, you can also get multi-region coverage or just quickly add a new country whenever you get there. If you'd like to try it out, you can click the link in the description or use the code CASUALLY when you check out on the app for an exclusive 15% discount on your first purchase.